Hello everybody, welcome to another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new album by the progressive metal band Wheel with their third record, Charismatic Leaders. So Wheel is a prog metal band I've wanted to talk about for a while. You could say I wanted to get behind the wheel to mention this band. So they've done 3 records now. Moving Backwards rather is the album that kind of pulled me in. I remember when this released, it was really fun. I quite enjoyed it, and this kind of made me a fan of Wheel. Definitely a strong debut record from this prog band, and Charismatic Leaders isn't Wheel losing their sound, but diving more into what works as well as exploring newer territory to make it work pretty well. And there's a lot of good stuff on this album. Now, the one thing I can say that kind of disappoints compared to the others is that one of the songs is more like an interlude called In the Afterglow, so you kind of get less of that sort of Wheel content, but this still is a lengthy record. It's longer than Moving Backwards in terms of the time frames of the songs, but Resident Human will still remain the longest. But I must say, I kind of vibe with Charismatic Leaders more than Resident Human. I wouldn't say this is their best record though, so I'd probably rank it as the second, but it's definitely a fun album in their discography. Tracks like Empire and Porcelain just give you such a brilliant 1-2 punch, and I must say even Submission could even fit into that, because I actually quite like this one. I think for what it's worth, yeah, it's the longest track, and sometimes I struggle to enjoy the 10-minute songs, but there's some really good progressive ones, like Hey Couldn't Elephants Never Forget is how you do a long song really well, and Submission is another one that I think works really well as well for what Wheel are offering. The album kind of falls apart, not falls apart necessarily, but it just kind of gradually sort of decreases as you get to Disciple and then The Freeze. Like, I still enjoy these tracks. Disciple's great, but this one is probably one of the weaker tracks for me. And The Freeze, probably the weakest song on the album, if I'm not counting Caught in the Afterglow, which feels more like an interlude. But it's not a bad thing either. Every track on this one is great. To me, I just think The Freeze just is kind of a little underwhelming for the final track of the record, but it's still got some kick-ass riffs, it's got some nice grooves, and that's what I like about it. The loud vocal performances as well is one of my favourite things about this new album, and obviously they've been doing that before, but I just like how the vocals sound on all the records, and I think here you definitely got some great moments. Porcelain has probably one of my favourite choruses because of it. I just think it's got absolute brilliant structure to it. Saboteur as well is a really good song. This one's kind of like more or less in the middle of my favourites, but this gives great moments as well. I think this probably has one of my favourite riffs from the entire record, but I think for what Wheel did, I kind of wish they didn't release too many of these as singles, because I did listen to all the singles, so that meant I've only got like 3 new songs and an interlude to look forward to. So yeah, only half the record's been released, and a lot of bands do that, but yeah, I wish they kept some of it a little hidden. But anyway, Wheel's new album, yeah, it's a pretty good one, honestly. If you're looking for something that's just progressive, something that has some really good prog metal elements, obviously because they're a progressive metal band, this is definitely the band for you. Some really heavy riffs lie on The Freeze as well. Even if it being one of my least favourites, I think this song still has very kick-ass moments, and that's what I can say about the whole record. Even the weaker stuff has kick-ass moments, and I think it just all rounds up to a pretty good listen. I'm going to give this Wheel album this is actually hard. I'm actually going to give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's a really good listen. Definitely a good Wheel album, not even their worst, so this is definitely a step up from Resident Human in my opinion, and Resident Human kicks ass as well, but yeah, not their best. I think Moving Backwards is just more of my thing, but yeah, Wheel kicked ass, and that's my review. Hope you all enjoy. Thanks so much for watching. See you next video.